Hello, everyone. My name is Carmen Blanco, and today I'm presenting my legal evaluation of Priceline.com's terms of use. The goal of this analysis is to examine how these terms hold up legally in today's e-commerce landscape, whether consumers are generally bound by them, and how Priceline can modernize its user agreement to better balance legal enforceability with consumer fairness. This is a copy of the actual Priceline terms and conditions found on Priceline.com. So, the structure of this evaluation, I've broken my research down into four primary questions. First, is Priceline's user agreement a valid legal contract on paper? Second, should website visitors be required to actively click I agree before using the site? Third, if a dispute arises, can a consumer actually sue Priceline in a court of law? And fourth, what specific changes and overhauls would improve this agreement based on modern case law and industry best practices? So, is this a valid contract? Technically, yes. Under classic contract law, a valid agreement requires three elements: an offer, acceptance, and consideration. Priceline offers access to its travel booking engine and discounted rates. Users accept by accessing the platform and mutual exchange of travel services for monetary payment or data satisfies consideration. However, there is a major catch. While it is legally valid on paper, over 95% of consumers never actually read these terms. This creates a significant gap in true mutual assent or agreement, meaning while a technical contract exists, its practical enforceability is often vulnerable in court. So this brings us to our second question. Should users have to click I agree? Absolutely. Currently, Priceline relies on browse wrap model, stating in section 1 that simply browsing the site or placing a call implies consent. But as highlighted by the Digital Media Law Project, courts frequently strike down browse wrap agreements because hiding a link in a footer doesn't prove the user ever had notice of the contract. To make this contract bulletproof, Priceline should transition to its explicit click wrap model during checkout or account creation, requiring users to check an I agree box. Click wrap provides clear, undisputed proof of affirmative consent. Next, if you have a dispute with Priceline, can you sue them in court? In almost all cases, no. Priceline terms includes a mandatory binding arbitration clause and a class action waiver. This means consumers waive their constitutional rights to a jury trial and cannot join in collective lawsuits, even for a widespread $50 hidden fee overcharges. While arbitration is faster and cheaper for businesses, consumers often view it as stacked in favor of corporations. More importantly, these clauses only survive if the rest of the contract is legally sound. If the contract's modification terms are defective, the arbitration clause can collapse entirely. So, based on these findings, I recommend four improvements. First, adopt a plain language standard with TLDR or executive summary at the top to explain dense legal jargon. Second, integrate mandatory click wrap prompts before any transaction is finalized. Third, establish a strict proactive notice requirement, sending email alerts 30 days before major updates. And fourth, improve scannability using visual accordions and highlighted key clauses. So let me emphasize why fixing the amendment clause is so critical. Currently, Priceline claims the right to modify terms at any time simply by posting updates online. As a legal scholar, Eric Goldman points out in his commentary on Harris versus Blockbuster, courts have ruled that when a company retains unbridled power to change contract rules retroactively without notice, the contract becomes illusionary, legally void. If Priceline's amendments clause is deemed illusionary, courts can strike down their entire dispute resolution and arbitration protection. Promising 30 days advance notice protects the business legally while keeping things fair for users. Another key recommendation is public tracking. The Electronic Frontier Foundation launched the TOS Back project to track silent, behind the scenes changes in corporate terms of service. Priceline should embrace this transparency benchmark by maintaining a publicly accessible, version controlled changelog, users allowing users to view historical revisions, builds consumer trust, and demonstrates regulatory compliance. In conclusion, Priceline's terms of use are functional and legally enforceable today, but they carry unnecessary legal vulnerabilities due to browse wrap reliance and unilateral amendment clauses. By transitioning to click wrap assent or acknowledgement, adopting plain language summaries, and providing advance notice for updates, Priceline can safeguard its legal protections while treating its customers with clarity and respect. Thank you for your time, and I will leave you with this. Priceline terms of use are legally valid today, but carry substantial legal vulnerabilities. Transition to explicit click wrap and notice based amendments protects the business while restoring fairness to the consumers. Once again, thank you for your time and your attention. Advance notice for updates. Priceline can safeguard its legal protections while treating its customers with clarity and respect. Thank you for your time, and I will leave you with this. Priceline terms of use are legally valid today, but carry substantial legal vulnerabilities. Transition to explicit click wrap and notice based amendments protects the business while restoring fairness to the consumers. Once again, thank you for your time and your attention.